Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are starting a new Let's Play here in Planet Zoo. And if you don't know, this is an absolutely wonderful game where you can build your own zoo. And there's a lot to learn about the animals and stuff. The team that made it was really amazing on getting all the animal facts right. And it focuses on endangered animals. So I figured this was perfect for our channel. Today we are starting one of our zoos, out of hopefully many in the future. Here in a tundra. Seeing as it is almost winter, I figured we could start a winter zoo. I'm playing here on a randomly sculpted map, just to make it a little bit more interesting and see how we can build around nature. But let me just say, this looks wonderful. These mountains in the background are beautiful. So to actually get started, we need a bunch of things. But before that, I wanted to see here in our Zoopedia. I wanted to just go through so you guys know what we're gonna do. We're only gonna be putting down tundra animals here in our winter wonder. And the tundra animals we are gonna use are all of these, except for the Himalayan brown bear and the red-crowned crane. And the reason for this is that I want... this is their natural habitat, by the way. There's so much information about these animals. But I wanted it to be more of a northern zoo. So, unfortunately, I have deemed the red-crowned crane and the Himalayan brown bear to simply be too low on the map. The only exception to this is the king penguin, which is the only Antarctican animal. We could put them in a South American zoo, but I figured it was better to just put them here in our Arctic zoo. Well, yeah, our winter zoo. So I am very excited to start this with you guys and see what kind of wonderful winter animals and habitats we can build. But as I said before that, we need to get some stuff out of the way to actually be able to run our zoo. And that is all our staff facilities. Right now we have absolutely nothing in our you can research things, and we have 0 research. So we just have a bunch of random little buildings here. We're gonna need one of each, so let's just start by slamming some of these down. So we need a keeper hut so our animals can actually... It's been so long. I've forgotten all the controls. But we need a keeper hut so they can our animals can get food. We also need a quarantine so we don't get any sick animals in, of course. And this is just kind of a temporary little area so we can actually start building for the animals, because, I mean, let's be honest, that's what we're all here for. So there we go, a veterinary center and a staff room for our staff, of course. There's so much customization in this game. I mean, I can put all of these buildings however I want. It's very cool. And let's also put down a research center back to here, as well as a mechanic in case anything breaks, of course. Let's put that right there. And then, of course, a trade center, so we can actually get the animals. We also need... well, do we need power, actually? Actually, I think right now here there's a heat map here. I think yeah, our kind of starting zone is actually providing power for all these buildings already. But let's see if we can get some paths. I was thinking kind of a rocky path. Ooh, like this one. This one looks very good. Let's make it rocky as far in as we can as well. There we go. So there we go. I say we make this a very wide path for the entrance of the zoo. So just get it started a little bit in here. Oops. Like that. And let's see if we can then make a smaller staff path. Let's make it this kind of purpley blue. Let's put it on each one of these. There we go. There we go. And now let's actually connect them as well. There we go. And of course we need to connect them to the actual path. There we go. Well, with all of that all out of the way, we actually need staff that can use our things as well. So let's see. Staff does cost money as you have them. So I think we should probably just put down the necessities, which right now would be a caretaker. Hold on. Here we are. Caretaker, definitely a keeper. And let's see. Mechanic we don't need right now. We don't have anything to actually make. We probably need a vet as well. And, well, security is amazing, but I'm not sure we have the money for that right now. So let's see. Yeah, we don't need to make any work zones right now because our zoo is so small. But let's see if we can actually figure out what animal we do want. If we look here in the Zoopedia, and then there are a lot of beautiful animals here, of course. But I was thinking we need something a little bit smaller. Probably an Arctic fox or a red fox is my my idea here. You know what? Let's start strong and see if we can get an Arctic fox. Now that actually, now we actually have to find an Arctic fox that somehow is going to be cheap enough for us to buy. We'll see here. Ouch. So as you can see, some of them cost what are they called? Conservation credits, which is this little leaf currency here. Now we will get those by releasing animals, for example, into the wild, or just logging into the game. But we're gonna work on mostly releasing animals, especially the less fortunate animals that are unfortunately not doing too good in the wild in our world. But there's actually two very, very pretty... Well, this one is a very, very small female. Her immunity is unfortunately very low. But it's really the only option we have right now. Hopefully later on we can make their genetics better and see how that goes. But let's, there we go, let's buy these two. And let's put them in quarantine, because we don't want any sickness, of course. Although it seems like it can't really... seems like it can't use this. Is this because we don't have... We might need another staff member. We have caretaker, keeper. We should have everything. Maybe it was just because it was paused. Let's see. Send to zoo. Ah, there we go. It was just because it was paused. But let's see. Where should we actually build the little Arctic fox in habitat? I'm thinking kind of here. By these little mounds here. It seems very cozy and like a beautiful spot to put down little Arctic foxes. So let's actually see here if we can... Oh goodness, there's a lot of stuff here. It's been a while, so I'm looking through everything. A viewing dome entrance, eh? Okay, well let's start with a null. So basically... Actually, let's start with this one. The little woodlog fence. Let's see if we can just make an enclosure here. That's a good size. This is probably way more than a good size, but for the little foxes. And let's see, let's get the stone and let's make it a 6 meter. 5 meter, I would say. Path, and let's just pull it along here. So people can actually see our beautiful foxes. Well, eventually at least. And let's see if we can just put this down. There we go. This is just kind of an idea. We're gonna make it more personalized in 2 seconds here. And our foxes have actually passed the quarantine. So let's put a path, connect these two. Connect these 2 paths like so. There we go. And we actually need a habitat gate, of course. So our keepers can actually get into said habitat. So let's put one down here, I would say. And let's connect it not to... Well, we can also connect it to that path, I suppose. Like so. But let's also connect it over here. Like that. There we go. And let's see if we can get the Arctic foxes in here before we change too much. There we go. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Little Arctic foxes. Now, of course, these little poor things are not... this is not a good enclosure whatsoever. Oh, look at how small they are! Oh, they're so small. Oh, this is absolutely adorable. They actually don't have any enrichment either, which we should probably get started on. There's education. We need vet research, so I'll put our vet onto the Arctic fox. And as you guys can see, there's plenty of diseases as well that we need to research to make it easier to actually cure them. And we don't have a mechanic, of course. Unfortunately. But let's see if we can actually build a nice enclosure for these poor things. So they have more room than they would ever need here. So I might actually make it a bit smaller, unfortunately for them. but I would like to... Of course, bigger is always better when it comes to animal habitats, but for this one, I want it to be a bit smaller. Oops. There we go, and then boom, there we go. So this is wonderful, and now let's try to actually make it look good. Let's see. I want to filter it by not continent, but not theme, biome. There we go. I want it to be tundra. There we go. And there are plenty of tundra rocks. Rocks and stuff we can put down. There's even ice rocks, which is quite interesting. Maybe we should... Ooh, should we make a little ice bath over here for them? That would actually be adorable. But first of all, we need to remove all this long grass. It is bothering me, so we need to go to terrain. And then let's see, what do they actually like? They like short grass and they like rocks. So let's see if we can get in some short grass here. There we go. It's a bit interesting doing all this under the snow like so. There we go. So now we basically only have short grass. And then I also wanted some... Well, maybe a little bit of soil actually. Some heavy soil. Cover it a little bit with the grass. And then mostly just a bit of rocks over here. Going into smooth rocks. And then eventually becoming the grass again. Something like this, I feel like, is very adorable. Of course, we won't be able to see it, as there is snow absolutely everywhere. But that's okay. So I actually wanted to make a little hollow for them. So let's see if we can go in here. Maybe pull a little up here. And then flatten in this little... Oh yeah, like this. Oh, whoops. Not like that. But something like this. Make a really nice hollow in here. And of course in here we want to have not quite grass, but we'll start with that for now. And around it I want it to be rocky. Very many rocks and very, very nice rock. And then a little grass entrance like that. And in here I actually want some heavy soil. I apologize for it being so dark. There is a flashlight somehow, but I do not remember the key binding for that. Let's make it a bit of lighter soil in here as well. So there we go. It's just a really nice little den. And if we click play here, their hard shelter is 100. There we go. That's what we want to see. And of course, we also need a little bit of some den material down here. So let's make it really, really cozy with a bunch of hay and such down here. There we go. So they can actually use this just fine and go in here, and it's very adorable. So something like that, I would say, is pretty good. They can have a little bit of open space. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. They can have a little bit of open space. And up here, I think we actually have to increase this size, because if they are underground, but they still go on, or yeah, if they go underground but they're out of this exhibit, then the game does not like it. it goes crazy and tells you that you are your animals are escaping, even though they are very much not. But let's see if we can make it a bit more pleasant looking by putting some rocks up here. Let's just let's make this entire exhibit the null fence now. So there we go. Now we can actually make natural natural formations that yeah, well, they'll look natural and the animals can't get out. And that just looks much, much better than having a bunch of fences all over the place. So let's see if we can make something sort of natural looking. Maybe a little bit of rock there. Would actually be pretty nice with a big platform rock. This one, for example. And maybe push it out a little bit, like so. There we go. That's a pretty cool little area. Now this gets very, very cool when you start having animals that can also climb, because then you can make absolutely wonderful exhibits. So there we go. It's very finicky. But here we go. Let's see. We need a couple big rocks like that. Yeah, this is beautiful. There we go, like so. You can also, as I did earlier, you can spin them like this. Make the same rock look very different from each other, which is pretty cool. Let's see if we can put down a white rock, why not? I don't know, I think I'll refrain from doing so right now. We also have this, the gate, of course. Now, the gate can be a little bit wonky sometimes, because the keepers don't always want to go through them when there's rocks around them like this. But if you just, if you're a bit careful with it, you can usually get a pretty good door that won't be too weird. That they can actually use, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. And it looks just way better than having normal normal fences. And actually something I really want to do is put down the plants. Of course I do. The plants by far is my favorite part of making an exhibit. But the rocks are very important. They put down the foundation, of course, of the entire thing. And I actually wanted to see if I can make maybe a custom fence. Not very good at that, but we will try together to make it look somewhat decent at least. That's a pretty good door. I don't know really how well these little Arctic foxes can jump. You know, they probably can't jump quite far, but we'll see if we can make a little fence. Maybe we'll actually just use the wood logs, the wood log fence here for this part, like so. And then let's just, oh, whoops, and then we just make it way smaller. So something like that. I don't, as I said, I don't know, maybe 1.5 meters is good. Something like that, and then people can actually see over, I think. Despite it being not very great visibility, of course. A small wooden habitat. Oh, you can build small ones now. That's new since I came back here. Let's actually see how they move around this terrain. Okay, so it's been calculated, and then you can check here in the heat map. and habitat. And they actually can't get out anywhere here. So let's see if we can make it a tad bit smaller by going down to 1 meter. I am assuming they can jump this. That is just an assumption. You can actually see somewhere whether they can jump it or not. Like how high they can jump, I believe in the Zoopedia. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so they can't get over the 1 meter fence, which is wonderful for us. Because then we can have this amazing view of these adorable little creatures. But let's see if we can slam down the last couple rocks and get a wonderful habitat going. We also need to make this little cave entrance look a little bit nicer. So just a little bit of hiding here. And we can use this to maybe make it a little bit more something like this, maybe. There we go. And then a tiny little rock here to finish it off, I think. Something like that. That looks way nicer already. And here we can make a little rock as well. Just a little rocky area they can sort of jump around on and have fun. There we go. Maybe like this, actually. Something like... well, this looks pretty okay. There we go. Some random little wall. Maybe they can get their food on here. They can actually maneuver on here. We'll see how that works. So there we go. And this is gonna be so much fun, especially when we get more animals in here. And it's gonna be a wonderful thing we have going all throughout Christmas. So all the way to wonderful Christmas. We will have this going and see all these wonderful animals and hopefully learn a lot about them. And create beautiful exhibits. Well, hopefully beautiful. For them, and just see how they thrive and what they do. Really just have fun and see what the wonderful world we live in has to offer for us. It's gonna be amazing. There we go, and just one last little rock right there. And next time we will get started on really building this exhibit by showering it in plants. Hold on. Actually, they have a plant limit. Yeah, they have a plant limit. So hopefully, hopefully we can shower them in plants. At least somewhat. Fine, and then we'll also see what animal we put in here next. Maybe even next time already. I am excited to share more of this with you guys. And if you want to join more of our adventures and see this wonderful nature and all these animal games and nature games and whatnot, be sure to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.